The tranquil hum of a quiet Florida town was shattered at 1:23:06 p.m. this afternoon, as police and sheriff's deputies swarmed a SunTrust Bank branch in Sebring. It wasn't a silent alarm that alerted them, but a chilling phone call from the shooter himself. He calmly informed the dispatcher he had entered the bank and begun firing, setting in motion a horrific chain of events that would leave 5 innocent lives irrevocably lost. The scenes that followed were ripped from a nightmare. Aerial footage showed a flurry of emergency vehicles, flashing lights, cutting through the daylight. Crime scene tape, a stark yellow barrier, quickly sectioned off the suburban bank, now a tableau of shattered glass, and unspeakable tragedy. Inside, detectives carefully catalogued the destruction. A single bullet casing marked 18, lying starkly on the patterned carpet, a grim testament to the violence unleashed. Local news headlines screamed. A single, devastating word: senseless. 5 dead in bank shooting. Sebring, Florida, a small city of just 12,000 residents, nestled in the heart of the state, was known for its picturesque lakeside views and the thrilling sports car racing facilities. It was a place where motor enthusiasts flocked. Far removed from the kind of brutal crime seen in movies, its violent crime rate, while slightly above the national average at 5.1 per thousand residents, hardly prepared its community for the terror that unfolded within the unassuming walls of their local bank. The image of a masked gunman storming a bank is a familiar trope on screen, but no one ever truly expects to be thrust into such a terrifying situation. In real life yet, 5 unsuspecting women, some working, others running mundane errands, were about to find themselves trapped inside a horrifying reality. The FBI was quickly dispatched to the scene, their presence underscoring the severity of the crisis. Urgent radio calls from law enforcement echoed, filled with a desperate sense of urgency and a regret. We should have gone in. Is someone shot? I don't know. The cold hard truth was this. A man in a bulletproof vest had entered the bank. He ordered employees to lock the doors, trapping everyone inside, then opened fire. Among the victims was Ana PinónWilliams, a 38-year-old mother of 7, originally from Mexico, who had only recently started training as a bank teller to support her family. Her sister-in-law worked for the Highlands County Sheriff's Office, a cruel twist of fate that offered no protection. As Ana prepared for her shift on the 23rd of January, 2019, she noticed a white male sitting idly in a red SUV. In the parking lot, he wasn't moving, his hands on the steering wheel, his gaze fixed on the bank. She met his eyes, finding it odd, but dismissed it, unknowingly glimpsing the face of a future killer. Just minutes later, at 1:23:05 p.m., the killer, identified as 21-year-old Zephen Xaver, walked through the bank's doors armed with a 9mm handgun and clad in his bulletproof vest. Bank teller Benjamin Wysokowski, enjoying his lunch break in the back, heard 2 loud bangs. At first, he dismissed them as firecrackers, but the chilling realization of gunshots soon set in. Benjamin, fortunate enough to find an unlocked back door, made a desperate escape, running for his life. But for the others, the doors were now sealed, and their fate was grim. Inside, Zephen was alone, with Ana, 55-year-old head teller, Marisol Lopez, a mother of 2 adult children, 54-year-old teller Debra Cook, a mother and grandmother dedicating her life to supporting her son through alcoholism, 31-year-old Jessica Montague, a mother of 3 young children, and 65-year-old customer Cynthia Watson, a recent newlywed and former NASA Kennedy Space Center employee, who had once delivered devastating news to the families of Challenger astronauts. These were women with full lives, families, and dreams, now facing an unimaginable terror. At 1:23:06 p.m., Zephen made his chilling call to 911. Yes, I'm at the SunTrust in Sebring. He stated flatly, I just killed 5 people, when asked why. His response was even more disturbing. I actually don't know. I thought that I could. I wanted to ever since I can remember. I've wanted to die since I was 9. I wanted to kill since I was 11. He refused to unlock the doors, threatening to shoot anyone who came near him. He mentioned 2 people were still breathing, but getting very ragged. Police outside, now fully aware of the active shooter and the potential hostage situation, debated their next move. The decision weighed heavily: sending in a SWAT team, risking more lives, or continue negotiations. Zephen, it turned out, had recently quit his job as a corrections officer at Avon Park Prison, a fact had kept hidden from his mother. The dispatcher tried to glean more information, questioning if his unemployment had triggered this explosion of violence. Zephen claimed to be hearing voices. Voices that grew louder if he took the gun away from his head. Voices that had told him to kill. A seasoned negotiator, Chris, was brought in, attempting to build a rapport, speaking to Zephen about wrestling, his past, and even sharing personal details about marriage and weight gain. He urged Zephen to talk, to put the gun down, to allow medical help for the 2 victims still breathing. After over an agonizing hour of tense negotiation, Chris made a crucial breakthrough. Zephen's phone battery was dying. Chris promised he would call the bank directly when it went out. "It's going to be me, Chris," he assured him. Building a sliver of trust, he convinced Zephen to count to 10, put the gun down, and walk out. Miraculously, Zephen complied. He placed his handgun and knife on the floor and emerged, hands raised, into the waiting arms of law enforcement. SWAT vehicles had already breached the bank's front doors, ready to storm in, but Zephen's voluntary surrender was a small victory in a larger tragedy. However, as officers swept the bank, the terrible truth became clear. It was too late. There were no survivors. Ana PinónWilliams, Marisol Lopez, Debra Cook, Montague, and Cynthia Watson were all dead. The overwhelming feeling among the police was frustration. Some believed they should have gone in sooner, that valuable minutes were lost in negotiation. "We should have just went in. Active shooter. It's an active thing shooter." Others countered it was above our pay grade, a decision for trained negotiators. During Zephen's subsequent interrogation, a horrifying picture emerged of a deeply disturbed young man. He admitted to lying on his gun application, hiding his past. Mental health treatments, including being hospitalized for suicidal ideation at 15. After trying to hang himself, he confessed to hearing at least 5 voices, telling him to hurt people, kill myself. He described a lifelong struggle with these voices, starting from age 11, and admitted he was bullied throughout school. He told his ex-girlfriend that he was joining the military to kill people and get away with it. Zephen also revealed a chilling premeditation. The voices had urged him for over a week to do it. He had purchased a gun and bulletproof vest days before the shooting. He admitted that he was aware. He had a choice in his actions, and despite his claim of voices, he confessed to choosing to commit the murders. He described sitting in his car in the bank's parking lot, trying to stop himself as the voices grew louder until he finally gave in. After the first shot, they started crying and I just kept shooting until I stopped hearing movement. In 2023, Zephen Xaver pleaded guilty to 5 counts of premeditated homicide murder. The prosecution sought the death penalty, a decision that under a new Florida law could be reached. With an 84 jury vote in 2024, the jury returned a 93 vote in favor of the death penalty. Zephen Xaver now sits on death row, awaiting an automatic appeal. This horrifying story raises profound questions about mental illness, gun control, and the responsibilities of a community to those struggling within it. It leaves behind 5 shattered families, trying to piece together the shards of their lives, forever marked by the senseless tragedy.